attract advertising. I felt this article was important, especially if you're a sales representative, business developer, or in fundraising, um, self entrepreneur, self-employed. Advertising and advertising dollars, media is so important. And so I wanted just to go ahead and read the article out loud and speak from the heart of some good points, some tips to take with us, especially as I have an opportunity to serve in business development and grassroots marketing and serving in community relations. So advertising and how to attract advertising dollars, very important. So let's talk about it. So generating, I believe this is from the small business, smallbusiness.cron.com. Generating advertising revenue gives you a way to pay for your publication or online efforts without bearing all of the cost yourself. Obvious statement for a nonprofit or an entertainment event, something of that nature. For potential advertisers, though, they want to know how running an ad with your company will generate revenue for their business. So that's what it boils down to. Potential advertisers potential advertisers okay. Potential advertisers want to know how running an ad with your company will generate revenue for their business. Screenshot that. Whether you want to attract advertising to print publication, website, or blog, you must develop messages that help explain the benefit of advertising with you. So we have potential advertisers want to know how running an ad with your company will generate revenue for their business. And they also that you must, in order for that to happen, you must develop a message that helps explain the benefit of advertising with you. Those are two big things that you want to take out of the first paragraph. All right, implement sales tactics. Finding companies willing to advertise in your publication may require you to make sales calls or send letters of introductions. Now, being in business development, building long-term working relationships for clients, with clients, it's very important to understand that essential ways to grow your client count, your customer base, is by either face-to-face engagement, making telephone calls, or sending an email. Those are your top three essential ways of getting things done for now. You always want to stay at least 5 years ahead of the game. Technology is playing a big role. Digitally, social media, video marketing. These are all high-end return opportunities. But at the end of the day, especially when you're dealing with businesses, at the end of the day, you're dealing with people. So you got to connect with the individual. And the highest way to do that to get a return is through face-to-face engagement, phone calls, telemarketing, or email marketing. So keeping that in mind, let's read that first sentence again of implementing sales tactics. Finding companies willing to advertise in your publication may require you to make sales calls or send letters of introduction. Start by identifying businesses that advertise in similar publications to find out what type of companies spend their money on your advertisement. This is so important. Know thyself. So in order to get started, you want to identify businesses that advertise in similar publications or similar activities. So what kind of activity do you have? What kind of publication do you have? Can you categorize it? And then do research to find out what type of companies spend their money on your advertisements. Contact the same companies or their competitors to explain what you offer if they advertise with you. Contact those same companies or their competitors to explain what you offer if they advertise with you. So it's kind of like saying, do not reinvent the wheel. Go after those that you know are clearly spending money. These are great tips. Look for companies that appeal to the same target market as your publication or blog, such as looking for kitchen appliance companies or businesses that teach cooking classes if you write a foodie blog. Also want to tie in on this last sentence, another piece that I caught. Look for companies that appeal to the same target market as your publication or blog, such as looking for kitchen appliance companies or businesses that teach cooking classes if you write foodie blogs. What this sentence to me is saying that in order to also grow and increase your base, you also want to intertwine education and engagement. Intertwine those in a way where it's education, however that looks like. Those are two key terms that you want to intertwine to appeal to your target market through your work. All right, develop a media kit. Gather statistics on how many people visit your site or read your publication. It's so important because if you're an advertiser, you want a return. You want eyes on your publication, on your message. And so, first thing you want to do, or one of the first things, is you want to make sure you gather the numbers of how many people actually visit your site and read your publication. These statistics help convince potential advertisers why your site makes a good choice for their ads. So almost at the top, you want to have your numbers. Almost at the top, you almost want to have your numbers in the subject. Just to capture attention. X amount of number, X amount of people, X amount of eyes, X amount of traffic by doing this or working with this or working, whatever have you. So these statistics help convince potential advertisers why your site makes a good choice for their ads. Include these statistics in a media kit that uses your company's branding and provide a list of the rates you charge for advertising in your publication. That sentence is so important, and I'm going to challenge you to look up what a media kit is, because from there, you're going to jump into the branding as well as the rates. So get into a media kit. The packet should also contain the specifications required to create and submit the ad, including dimensions, number of pixels required, and the type of print or digital files you accept. So in this particular case, you want to provide a smooth, simple customer experience, and you want to be able to explain that experience prior to the sales process. When you're able to answer questions before they're asked, it shows that you are someone that is a professional based upon experience, and you're putting the customer first, which is what's going to be the winning piece in this capitalistic battle with other competitors. And so, keeping that in mind, you want to have specifications ready, and down to the details. Post ads. Let people know you accept advertising by posting an ad in the appropriate place. If you want online advertising, let me stop right there. Let people know you accept advertising by posting an ad in the appropriate place. If you do not know where the appropriate places are for your advertising, that's where you want to start when it comes to the marketing piece. Because now we're talking about posting ads. So we're talking about actually you marketing or paying for advertising to get your word out. So you know where to look. Google is a good place to start. You got to first know your cause, your industry, and from there you can indirectly find out who advertises in your cause or industry, specifically because you know who you are and you're looking at your competitors. That's what it said earlier, and you're reaching out to those same advertisers of your competitors, see if they want to do business with you. But at the same time, you want to be clear in your media kit and knowing, the stats and your rates. And you also want to be able to provide the steps to submit the ad, what they need to include, and that whole process, especially if these are first-time buyers. If you want online advertising, add a blurb to your website or blog that invites inquiries about advertising. Provide a link to your email address to encourage potential advertisers to contact you about rates and requirements. I'll read that one more time. Here's an action step. Provide a link to your email address to encourage potential advertisers to contact you about rates and requirements. If your print publication needs advertisers, include a message about the available advertising space and provide your full contact information to encourage inquiries. I'll read it one more time. If your print publication needs advertisers, Include a message about the available advertising space and provide your full contact information to encourage inquiries. It's so important. Um, Include a message about the available advertising space. So obviously, you're giving some information about the product, and in some cases, maybe about a service. Um, but obviously, the product is the space, the size. What does that look like? Where is it going? Um, to encourage inquiries. Accept online ads. One way to get advertisers on your website or blog requires signing up for Google Ad Space. There you go. Something you need to do. Sign up for Google AdSense. Sorry. Signing up for Google AdSense. Once you set up your free account, you add HTML code to your website or blog that allows ads to appear on the page. Another option is to sign up with sites such as blog ads to get listed in a directory used by companies looking for blogs on which to advertise their services or products. And these are just all various strategies for you to grow your brand. If I would assume to work on these things earlier, the sooner the better. So that way, by the time you have an activity that you're looking to launch, you already have your base. People are familiar with your work, and accepting ads is one way to do that. It looks like that's the end of the article. I just felt like again that was just some tips that you were able. That hopefully there were some tips you were able to get out of there. I will list the tips that that were found. Take it, run with it, and leave your comments and your questions about in regarding the article. And see you on the next review.